a very good morning here, and I'm hoping that it's a good morning to you too, wherever you are joining from. Um, we'll just kick off because of time. I'd like to welcome everyone to this exciting, I would say, webinar on major lessons for techies in 2024 and projections for vendor credit. Just very quickly, vendor credit is a supply chain company operational in Lagos, Nigeria. We streamline credit processing for African businesses in need of working capital financing, LPOs, asset financing, contract financing, invoice discounting, and the likes. And yes, I'll be your host for today as we delve into the learnings of 2024 and projections for 2025. Um, in case you missed it, our previous session in this series was on major lessons for techies in building resilient, customer-centric financial solutions in an AI-driven world. And we discussed the many opportunities and the level of efficiency that AI brings to financial services. We also had a stellar lineup of speakers who shared their deep expertise in fintech, data analytics, product management, and they also shared actionable insights that we believe would help us build smarter and more impactful solutions in financial services. So if you missed it, please search Tech Economy on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and other platforms, just to catch up on the conversations. And I'm certain it'll be worth your time and your data. For today's session, again, it's a privilege to host another gathering of brilliant minds. We would be reflecting on 2024 and we would be combing through the opportunities and challenges that we think 2025 holds. So just off the top of my head, I'm thinking 2024, we saw an expansion of Internet of Things. We saw an expansion of generative AI. We saw, improvements in cybersecurity, blockchain, and also extended reality, when we look at products like Apple's Vision Pro. So our world today is very fast-paced and tech-driven. And it goes without saying that, it requires more than just innovation. It requires resilience, it requires adaptability, and basically a focus on creating solutions that matter and really solve problems. So today's session brings together thought leaders and experts who have been at the forefront of shaping the tech landscape. I looked at their profiles and I would say that they are trailblazers, experts who have navigated breakthroughs in AI, in fintech, in software engineering, and they are very intentional with addressing the evolving needs of customers and businesses. So if you're on this call or if you're listening to this recording, whether you're a seasoned expert or you're just starting out in your career, we believe that the insights that they would share would help you stay ahead of the ever-evolving AI world or tech-driven world. So we encourage you to listen intently, and if you're on this call, plan to engage them with questions. So let's dive in and meet our speakers. Our first speaker is Chinedu Otutu. He is a software engineer at Green Places, where he specializes in developing high-impact scalable solutions that help companies accurately calculate their carbon footprints, including scope 1 to 3 emissions. Now, with a solid foundation in PHP, Laravel, TypeScript, and JavaScript, he's adept at designing and implementing robust software architectures, streamlining development processes, and ensuring the highest standards of code quality. Chinedu is driven by a passion for continuous learning. He actively deepens his expertise through hands-on projects and staying current with industry trends. He is also committed to knowledge sharing, regularly contributing to the tech community through speaking engagements like this one, and also mentorship. His experience includes architecting data integration pipelines, developing authentication systems, and leading internal initiatives that drive innovation and sustainability. So Chinedu, thank you for your contributions to the ecosystem. And we look forward to your insights on some of the technological advancements and breakthroughs that you'll be sharing with us. I mean, the ones that pertain to 2024 and, as we make projections for 2025. Our next speaker is Adanne Anene. She is a product lead at Branch International. Adanne is an experienced product management professional with over a decade of expertise in driving digital innovation in the financial technology sector. She has held leadership roles at top organizations such as Branch International, VFD Tech Limited, and United Bank for Africa, where she led initiatives ranging from mobile banking innovations to the launch of digital banking solutions. Adanne is recognized for her proficiency in product strategy, team leadership, and designing user-centered solutions that balance practicality with innovation. With a track record of transformative achievements, she is a thought leader in creating accessible, secure, and efficient financial tools. So Adanne, thank you for taking our time to join us today. For me, what I'm looking forward to is hearing your insights on customer-centric innovations in fintech, and how they've redefined financial inclusion. So we look forward to that. We also have Temitope Orilua. He's the founder of Digital Business Nigeria. It's a digital solutions provider that has launched multiple vendors, including Digitize Nigeria, a marketing agency dedicated to helping small businesses achieve their branding and online marketing goals. Digitize Nigeria has served clients across diverse sectors such as hospitality, gambling, religious organizations, NGOs, and entertainment. Temitope is a dynamic and results-driven professional with over 14 years of experience across various sectors in Nigeria, including manufacturing, banking, hospitality, marketing, gambling, and the likes. He is widely recognized for his innovative approach to digital marketing and entrepreneurship. In addition, he launched Sender Communications, a multi-channel platform that enables businesses to connect with their customers through SMS, email, WhatsApp, and social media. Sender is designed to help businesses streamline communications, automate responses, and centralize customer interactions for improved services. The platform is currently in its testing phase. But beyond his professional accomplishments, Temitope is deeply committed to continuous learning, and he's actively involved in professional organizations. He's an associate member of ACON, a full member of ADMAP. He's also a member of the Chartered Institutes of Marketing in the UK and the American Marketing Association. Temitope, we are honored to have you join us. And we look forward to you shedding light on, the role of AI and digital ecosystems in creating smarter and more connected solutions. And finally, we have Gerald Conway. He's the founder of Spotter. Now, Spotter helps users find where to go, what to do, and what to buy twice as fast and conveniently too. The startup works with FMCGs to connect every product to a source so that no one has to suffer from consuming a fake product ever again, armed with features that notify users of what's happening around them, even when they are not actively using their phones, and another that helps users know the active price of everyday items, from a simple search to one that shows users the active sellers and locations to find products and services. Spotify is built to be the user's favorite. And it also boasts a crypto coin to ease FX related hassles for travelers. And it serves a stats feature that helps businesses on Spotter engage and keep their loyal users with contests and rewards. So, Gerard, thank you for joining us. I hope Gerard is on the call. Thank you so much. Okay, he'll join us soon. All right, so I think we can kick off because of time. To everyone on the call, thank you for joining us today. I would say that this is more than just a conversation. This is a platform, it's a forum to inspire new ideas. It's a forum to reflect on key lessons and to equip you with strategies to thrive in 2025. So whether you're a developer, whether you are an entrepreneur, a tech bro, tech major developments in software engineering in this year. So tell us, what were the most significant challenges that tech professionals faced in 2024? And how can they prepare for similar challenges in 2025? Chinedu, did you hear me? Chinedu, you're muted if you're speaking.
Sorry, I was muted.
No
I didn't get
worries.
your question. It was breaking. Can you
Okay,
repeat your question?
no worries. So I asked what were the most significant challenges that tech professionals faced in 2024, and how can they prepare for similar challenges in 2025?
Okay. The challenges, you know, there are rapid technological advancements, right? So it is usually difficult for newbies to keep up with the trends, like technical trends, because tech is always evolving, right? So I would say rapid technological advancements, the swift evolution of technologies like AI, machine learning, and cloud computing, it requires continuous learning and adaptation. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
It requires continuous learning and adaptation. So integrating these new technologies with existing systems often, pose technological and strategic difficulties, like refactoring your code base or upgrading your maybe upgrading the version of the software you're using to another version could be challenging, right? Also, cybersecurity threats, also, so the increasing complexity of cyber attacks demand, robust, security measures, right? Because developing comprehensive cyber security systems and strategies and training employees on best practices are essential to protect against data breaches and organizational integrity. Then also the remote, work dynamics, since after COVID, remote work have been, more common than it used to be. So the rise of remote work reshaped, the operational landscape, presenting challenges, in ensuring effective collaboration and maintaining team cohesion in virtual environments, because communication is like the most important thing in remote working. So that also is a challenge. And also I would say talent acquisition and retention. We had a lot of layoffs this year, right? So I would say the skill gap, making it difficult to find, and retain qualified, professionals. Organizations need to invest in training and developing programs to upskill existing staff and align with evolving technological demands. Because I feel like most times the layoffs are based on evolving technological demands or based on the company not doing well, because the economy, there's also inflation, right? We've also faced inflation this year. So inflation is another point, or inflation is another thing that we faced this year, which led to the layoffs, right? So I feel like these are the challenges we face, right? And preparing for the strategies we could use in 2025 would be, one would be engaging in continuous learning, right? Engage in lifelong learning to stay ahead of technological trends, specializing in emerging fields like data, like AI, advanced cryptography, machine learning. Learning continuously and staying ahead of trends could be a strategy for us to solve these challenges. Also, embracing flexible work models, because I know a lot of companies still want us to be in the office and come Monday to Friday, but adults, I think companies should adopt and refine remote and hybrid work policies, right? Utilizing collaboration tools like Jira, like Trello, like Slack, like Zoom as well, because Zoom is also a collaboration. So, and fostering a culture that supports virtual teamwork to maintain productivity and employee satisfaction, and also to invest in talent development, because that's like our biggest exports in Nigeria and Africa is our talent. So creating educational and upskilling pathways to bridge the skill gap, to bridge the IT skill gap, and ensuring the workforce is equipped to manage future challenges. So I would say these are strategies we could incorporate to cope some of the challenges we faced in 2024.
I would say that you're very spot on, Chinedu, especially on the talent side that you mentioned. I agree that talent is our biggest resource. But it brings me to this question, and it's just us, just sharing our general learnings for 2024. Adane, as a seasoned product manager, we know that you've had your fair share of learnings this year. Can you share a key lesson from 2024 that you believe every techie should take heart to, moving forward? To every techie needs to think of it as bullet points, or like something that every techie needs to note, for 2025. Key lessons from 2024 that you believe that techies need to know for 2025?
Yeah. Hi, Chidera. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Chidera, for the introduction and for the question. So, well, AI, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. AI might sound like a buzzword. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's talking about the advancements of AI. But in 2024, we've gotten to see how powerful and really disruptive AI can be, and how our jobs are pretty much on the line as a result of AI. And so everybody is in trouble when it comes to skill sets. You need to build like the required skills to survive in the tech industry today. It's no longer the tech industry or the tech environment of old, where you just know your bit and you're just doing it. Really, the products requirement documents, the designs you're doing, and AI can do it with just a prompt. And so one of the major things that I've learned as a person, as a lead, as an employee this 2024 is that nobody's indispensable. So we just have to continue learning. we have to keep our eyes open, keep watching the trends, following the trends, developing based on what is happening at the moment. A lot of people are beginning to develop strengths in managing AI. I've heard of ethical AI managers, which are like people who have trained in AI prompts and ethically. And so those kind of opportunities will be in demand from next year and beyond. And so whatever anybody is doing right now, whatever you're learning, however you're trying to grow yourself and your skills and your business, you need to grow it in a sustainable way and in a way that differentiates you from just something that a machine can easily do. And so that's one of the key lessons I've learned. Like, nobody is indispensable. Anything can change at any moment. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Adani. And I think Temitope, just drawing from what Adani has shared, how would you say that the landscape of technology changed in this year? And what lessons should techies learn from these changes?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So I am coming from two aspects. I think Adane has spoken, and also I think Chinedu also spoke on some of these things as well. I think the major breakthrough for 2024 was AI. Generative AI. So now you can just go to ChatGPT, just write anything and you get results. And there are even more complex tools that you can use AI for. And I think that really just, changed the game for everyone. So now my major background is in digital marketing, and then I started developing solutions basically. So I think one of the major things I would advise techies is to be as flexible as possible. A lot of things that you may have learned in the past, you may need to unlearn and relearn. I noticed that AI just changed the entire landscape. So what you are seeing even Google reacting to the entire change with, so for example, I'm sure some of you may have noticed now that when you go to Google and you search for some things, you would see like a summarized statement, or you see some kind of words before you now start seeing those links. And that is Google trying to respond to ChatGPT, because people are no more interested in, going to Google, typing what they want. Then they will now start doing one
Yes.
research as if, they are writing a doctorate. So what you see in Google is them trying to respond to what ChatGPT is doing, because people are moving from Google to ChatGPT for a more direct answer. Like, if I'm asking about something, just tell me the answer and stop giving me websites that I've optimized for SEO. So basically, what I see, or what I would see happening in okay, let me still talk on some things that occurred in 2024. So some additional things I could say happened in 2024, apart from the whole AI boom, is also we noticed a skill gap in the market. So I remember, there's a software solution we're developing, and, I brought in some UI, UX designers to work with. A lot of them will show you their portfolio, tell you that, oh, they've done this, they've done that. you know, sometimes you won't even be able to confirm some of these things. But you notice a massive skill gap. A lot of people still need to learn. They still need to train harder, because some people will just learn something very small and they would want to be charging something very big, whereas they've not gotten the most basics, most basic of knowledge in that regard. So my advice would be for people to really hone down on their skills. And I think Adan also mentioned there are a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs because of what AI is doing. In fact, I think the CEO of NVIDIA came out the other day and said that you know, they are getting to a point where you don't even need software developers anymore, because you can tell the AI what you want to build and it will build it for you, you know. So techies, people within that space need to see how they can continually grow and not just stick back to what they've known in the past. I think in 2025, the kind of things that we would see grow would be the adoption and the integration of these AI models in literally everything we do. So some things I've, you know, seen coming are things like, so for example, we see how Donald Trump has come all out for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I think the minute he's sworn in, I think we've already seen that rise in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption already. But next year, I envision that it's going to take it to the next level. So when it comes to fintech solutions, for example, I see them adopting a lot more of cryptocurrency payments. There'll be massive rise in cryptocurrency payments because of the position of the upcoming president, President Trump. I see a lot of adoption there. I also think there will be adoption of generative AI in payments as well. So for example, but you know, this is just my prediction, but I think I see it happening as well. I see payment solutions coming out whereby you can literally just go and, you know, chat on your app. I want to send money to so-so person. I want to send this amount of money to so-so person, and the money is gone. You know, this is my PIN. There's no need to, you know, click on one thing, use your biometric, use your eye scan, and like things will just be way easier. You can use the way you chat with ChatGPT, you'll be able to chat with your bank, and, you know, whatever you instruct it to do, you know, that will be done. I see people integrating AI as well into, you know, automations. So for example, you mentioned the company we're building, Sender.io. It's a unified a marketing communication solution. So one of the products we have is 1DM. So basically, we noticed that there was this pain point a lot of people have been having, whereby you have an Instagram account, you have a Facebook account, you have a Telegram account. That's most businesses basically. You have email, you have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have like you literally are on all the social media platforms, and it becomes very stressful to start logging into all these platforms one by one, responding to people one by one. One of the products that we are working on Sender.io is called 1DM. So on 1DM, basically, we're going to be combining all your social media platform DMs, messages on one platform, so that you can be able to respond. You know how annoying it is when you go on someone's Instagram and you say, oh, I want to buy this, and they'll be like, we don't respond on Instagram, chat us on WhatsApp. Like, it's so annoying. from a marketing perspective and a user-centric view, I always advise businesses to discuss and communicate with your customers where they are comfortable. So if your customer is on Telegram and that is where they want to have that discussion, discuss with them on Telegram. Don't tell them to come and meet you on, send you an email, or they should come and meet you on Instagram, you know. So I think there'll be more solutions like this, even though, yes, we're working on one, but there'll be more solutions like this. There'll be solutions where we are able to integrate AI into this one DM solution. So the minute you send the business a DM, AI can respond to you, answer your questions, and all that. So those are some of the major things I see coming up in 2025. Yeah, there are more things, but
Yeah.
let me just
I can sense that you have more to share. And I thank you for, taking us to this direction. There's something you said that, I mean, whether AI is really taking over. I think futuristically speaking, yes, maybe in like the next 5 years, they'll be able to fine tune and just sort of make it, more human. But if I see an AI written piece, I would know. I would know when ChatGPT crafts something, right? Maybe because
yeah.
I've I've sort of played in the space for a while, right? I know when it's an AI that has written something. So whether AI is taking people's jobs for now, I don't really think so. Maybe from a marketing perspective and maybe marketing side of things, because for marketing, we need to touch people, right? We need to build that connection. There is Google Notebook. I'm tempted you most likely even know Google Notebook and how it's sort of replacing podcasts. So you just feed it what you want, and then there are two AI bots, conversing like people. So you don't need to stress yourself with the whole podcast and whatnot. But I still think that there is that human thing that AI is lacking that still needs to be fine-tuned. And that's why I believe that, like you said, and I think Chinedu mentioned, you just need to, if you're concerned about AI taking your job, you need to just keep fine-tuning your skills, upskilling, and just getting better at what it is that you do. And I was in I conducted an interview very recently, and the person was like, "Oh no, I don't like using AI tools. I prefer to do it, from scratch and whatnot." It was a huge red flag for me because I just felt like this person wasn't progressive. But while we're using these tools, right, I think, we need to remain relevant by ensuring that we're putting ourselves out there as we are the experts in the field, and we also know how to use AI, to augment what it is that we offer. I mean, for us and I think Adani mentioned for financial services, in vendor credit, we use AI to match benefactors with beneficiaries. It just does that work for us, right? So AI has its many uses, but it still lacks that human touch. And I think we still have time, maybe like 5 years, to ensure that it doesn't completely take over and make people lose their jobs. So just remain relevant. That's what I would say. So, Temitope, I like where you've taken us to. So let's talk about emerging trends. And Adani, I'd like you to kick us off on this area. So can you, because I would say that you're a product manager, right? You've worked with a lot of techies, right? So what emerging technologies do you believe would shape your industry, the financial industry? And then if you can touch on other industries as well, for 2025, what emerging technologies do you think will shape these industries? Adane, anyone hear me?
Hi, Chidera. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. I think the network was a bit shaky, but I think I heard what you were saying. You were asking about emerging trends that will shape 2025,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Well, so we've talked about AI. I don't think I need to talk about AI, but really AI is going to be like forefront for everything, simplified processes with AI and all. So I'm not going to touch on that again, but I do think that more and more, because of this AI and because of because we're really, really advanced, we've grown in this, especially in fintech, we've really grown in this technology. There's going to be more and more customization when it comes to serving customers or serving users. So most products that we see today is like a one size fits all. You just download the app and everybody's seeing the same thing. Everybody's able to do the same thing. Everybody's having the same experience. But with the advancement of AI and with the amount of data that we've collected over the years, going forward is going to be really, really personalized services. So I could open a mobile app for a financial transaction and see a totally different interface for what someone else sees based on my what I've done in the past or the kind of data that that business has about me. And then based on, of course, what AI has and machine learning has curated about me. Some fintechs, for instance, Branch, where I work, has started going forward to do this. We currently we're a credit company that we lend without we don't require any documentation. The only thing we use is mobile data. So we're able to tell who the users are. We're able to place users in different loan tables and deciles based on what we know about the user just from looking at the user's past background, what they've done on their mobile, what they've done with their telco. We're able to lend with those users, and the loans are performing well because our models are able to tell us who our users are. And so going forward, that's the kind of those are the kind of services we'll see. This will play in everything, fintech. It will play in insurance. It will play in so many everywhere that we see, even in social media. You're going to open. That is already happening, by the way. You open different countries, different regions are seeing different TikToks as we speak. So personalized, customer service. Also, there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of collaboration and, a lot of merging of different services. So today we're still working in silos. There's fintech, there's social media, there's digital marketing, we're all just working on our own, but as we go along, there's going to be a merger of some sort, and you can bank, borrow, talk, gists, share videos, do everything on one platform. Temitope just mentioned that they're building a platform that brings together all DMs, all your social media DMs. That's what we should be looking at. Like everything is going to start blending into one as people look for more convenient ways of doing things. We're all overstimulated. All of us, we have like 30 apps, 50 apps, 100 apps on our phones. It's becoming too much, and people are going to want to like bring everything together. I want my life to be, I want to be able to open one app and do everything that I want to do in a day. And so we're going to see a lot of convergence of services and, people working with Meta and, just building their financial services on top of social media or merging social media with financial services. Also, sustainability everybody has been talking about it, going green, reducing carbon footprints and all that. That is going to continue in 2025. I know with Trump, we don't expect it to be as forefront as it was with the with the blue guys in the US, but I still think that sustainability is what people are going to still focus on. Electric cars. Actually, with Trump and his relationship with Elon Musk, we'll see what happens with that. That's about to be interesting. We're going to see what happens from January. But yeah, reducing our carbon footprint, all the giants because of oil are slowly losing power. because everybody's moving to sustainability, sustainable energy. Even in Nigeria, we're seeing a lot of people go off grid, building their own mini solar generators and going off the grid, not using generators, not even connecting with our discos, and just generating electricity for their small compound by themselves. And so that is, some of the things that we're going to see going forward in 2025. Of course, with all this and with, more innovation, more, just more technology, comes cybersecurity threat. And so we're going to see heightened cybersecurity threats. Like, as we're here having this nice webinar talking about how we're going to improve technology and how people can improve technology, there's also some people in a room thinking of how are we going to destroy, how are we going to go into find the vulnerabilities in these technologies and get stuff from there. And so there's going to be heightened cybersecurity threats. So with that also, there's also an opportunity for those who specialize in those kind of services to then react to where we're going. So as we pull everything together, security is a bit lessened, because once you have social media sitting on top of your finance, or finance sitting on top of social media, is no longer as airtight as it was. And so the cybersecurity companies need to also step up to also provide that security we need as we expand. Yeah, so I'll just stop there.
Yeah, yeah, just so spot on. I like your examples around personalized experiences, partnerships and collaborations. Very, very key. We'll see a lot of that in 25. It has already started. I mean, with us, with Vendor Credit, we have a partnership with Conga where we offer their merchants personalized funding experiences and opportunities when it comes to working capital financing. So there'll be a lot more of that for 2025. Green conversations, absolutely. And then the part of cybersecurity, in our previous session, we learned that as AI is getting smarter, human beings are getting smarter too. So there are people that, like you said, are sitting down also trying to hack these things. Which brings me to my question, and Temitope, I think you'll be able to do justice to this question, because I sense that you are a serial entrepreneur and a master of all. So what role do you think cybersecurity plays in tech development as we move into 2025? Temitope.
Oh, sorry. I think the network glitched a little bit. Can you just
No worries.
rephrase your question?
So we're just talking about cybersecurity threats, right? And we're talking about how in our previous session, we learned that as AI is getting smarter, human beings are also getting smarter. And then they made very salient points, as regards to cybersecurity threats. So I was asking you, what role does cybersecurity play in tech development as we move into 2025?
So the thing is, like, as much as we've been flaunting AI and all this, I think about 2 weeks ago or so, I saw an AI response, I think on ChatGPT or one of these other AI platforms, where the AI was, responding and telling the person that the person is like a cancer to the world, and the person should die, different stuffs like that. So, and everyone started getting scared, that, are we seeing, there's this movie, was this Cybernet or something that that showed
A
AI,
lot of movies.
yeah, AI taking over the world and all that. So yeah, so I think like what Adana said, I agree with that. There's going to be a rise in cybersecurity, and a massive demand as well for cybersecurity skills. So I think it's one aspect for people who are interested in cybersecurity. I think it's one aspect that they should look into. My previous company, which is Eagle Predict, it's been sold anyway, but we were hacked twice, and the 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 two times we were hacked, it was just, in fact, we were just very lucky because my developers, they literally had no solution. They had no solution. They couldn't get the hacker out. And, we literally had to just beg the hacker and ask the hacker what the hacker wants. And
Oh, wow.
I thank God it wasn't something so crazy, because most of the hackers, in fact, they were literally just playing. One was from Bangladesh, the other was from India, and they did not even, I don't know, I think it was like an assignment for them in their school or something. So they did not plan to, put any harm or whatever. They just wanted to get our attention and, tell us of the vulnerabilities in our system. And I was just so grateful that I wasn't someone with ill intention. So point is, cybersecurity is, it's a massive aspect. I think in terms of the development, software development landscape, I think they should also focus a lot on QA, quality assurance. They should have a lot of testers that are, trying to test the system and trying to see how they can hack into the system, especially for fintechs, because, you just hear, oh, 100 million is missing, 50 million is missing because of one bug or because of one line of code that was not properly done. So there should be consistent testing while they are building, not to just build and, pray to God that nothing would happen. So, they should have a cybersecurity expert on their team to, ensure that. And the major challenge we have within the development landscape is because majority of the software developers that we have, a lot, not just in Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, they try to get to the end results with the fastest way possible, and don't, because following due process and best practices takes time and is stressful. So most of them, just want to, especially if there's no CTO or a cybersecurity expert to check and ensure that, the quality assurance is done. They just do what they need to do once, and that you are not a very technically oriented person, they just give you the software and you test it and it's working, but you don't know that, at the back end, a lot of mistakes have been made. So
Yeah.
I think cybersecurity needs to be integrated in the development process, and solid quality assurance to avoid, I don't know, like we say in this part, stories that tell.
There is a touch.
Stories that touch.
Yeah, thank you, David. Thank you so much. And Chinedu, this is your forte, so you need to chime in here, right? We're talking about cyber threats and what it is that basically our tech bros can do better, right? But how do you think tech professionals can stay ahead of the curve, with these rapid advancements in AI and machine learning? Temitope just gave an example of how they were hacked. How do you think that the tech professionals can stay ahead of what's going on now in terms of AI and machine learning? Chinedu's still on the call. Okay.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go
Everyone
ahead.
hear me? Yeah, sorry, my internet is. Can you ask the question?
No worries. Okay, so we're just talking about cybersecurity threats, right? And Temtepe gave ways that we can curtail these threats. But you being a software engineer, we're thinking that because it's your forte, this is where you play, right? We're thinking you would have some thoughts around how tech professionals can stay ahead of the curve, with these rapid advancements in AI and machine learning.
Yeah, like Temitope said, we need to be, proactive, not reactive. So we shouldn't wait for threats to happen. We should simulate and prepare, for the threats. That's how we stay ahead of cybersecurity threats. And with AI, we don't know what's real on social media because of AI sometimes. So I think staying ahead and preparing ahead, having this type of conversations and having this in mind before creating your software or creating your product will actually help you stay ahead and prevent these threats. Also embracing automation with caution, right? So automating security processes with AI is a great step, but we still have to have human oversight. Like he said, AI will take our jobs per se. Not really. I feel like AI is here to help us, but people can still misuse it, right? Can still use it to do bad things or do ill things. So I would say focus on using AI to do good things. Focus on AI powered security, where we learn how to implement AI driven cybersecurity tools to detect anomalies in our systems and to predict predictive analytics, basically to predict when someone wants to, or produce how someone wants to hack our system. AI can do that. Explore, build models that identify unusual patterns in real time, such as recognizing phishing emails, or unusual login behaviors. I think some platforms do that, like Get.io, where if you try to log in and maybe you don't put your password right, they don't send you the code for a particular amount of time because maybe they feel like someone wants to hack your account, something like that, or maybe you change your password in your account, right? They don't allow you access your account until after 24 hours. That's when you can withdraw and stuff. So measures like that would help us, curb these cybersecurity threats and just to stay ahead and to know when something is wrong, to know when unusual behaviors are happening in your system. So I think
I agree that AI is here to help us, and I think our tech professionals can leverage AI to their advantage to stay ahead. So thank you, Chinedu. Just in case you are joining us, if you're just joining us, this is the Tech Economy Business Series, and I've been enjoying the conversation so far. I don't know if you have been as well. We're discussing major lessons for techies in 2024 and projections for 2025. Just a quick recap on our panel. We have Chinedu Otutu. He's a software engineer at Green Places. We have Adane Anene. She's product lead Africa at Branch International Finance Company Limited. And then we have Temitope Orilua. He is the founder of Digital Business Nigeria. And I am your host, Chidera Muta, the marketing manager at Vendor Credit Limited. So far, we've been speaking about general lessons of 2024, and we've touched on some emerging trends. So now let's talk about skills development. So Adane, we'll start with you again, because again, you've worked with a lot of techies. What skills do you think will be in the most demand for techies in 2025? And how can they start developing the skills now? I'm sure there are people that are just starting out their careers and they would want to know this. So what are the skills that you think that would be in demand for techies in 2025? Adane.
Hi, Chidera. Yeah, I'm
Hi.
here. So this is like a summary of everything we've discussed, kind of, because really, I'm going to start with, first of all, data. because for AI to work, for machine learning to work, they need data. And so just as we've seen happen over maybe the past 2 years and this year, getting into data analytics, data science the demand is going to keep increasing because we're never going to be able to do anything without data. And of course, AI. AI is doing everything right now. I open LinkedIn every day and I see AI product managers and I see, like I said, ethical AI managers, and AI engineers. So those machine learning engineers are in very high demand. We don't have a lot of them in Africa, but machine learning, like training your system to respond to stimuli, it's going to be really, really in demand in the next year or so. Cybersecurity, of course, because of the rising threats that we've discussed again, people practicing ethical hacking, network security, and risk, there will be a lot of demand for them. And it won't just be the basic cybersecurity that we know. This is going to be like people who can react and respond to where the systems are going to, how to secure your machine learning systems, how to secure your AI systems. Of course, with I think it was Chinedu or Temitope that mentioned it before, but with where crypto is growing now, where with Trump, who has won the election, we're seeing what's happening to all the cryptocurrencies, blockchain, knowledge in blockchain, and is going to be demanded. Low code engineering. Right now, we have software engineers who write code, but we're gradually seeing that AI is able to build products without code. For instance, a few weeks ago, we wanted our engineers to work on a new reconciliation platform for us, but there weren't resources. So what we did was just to generate a no-code platform for our finance team to use for the time being, while the engineers work on that. So no-code development, product managers who are very proficient in no-code development. And so some of these things are going to be in demand and are in demand today and will continue to be in demand next year. And so for skills development, we all know the ways to develop skills: read, not just be on social media for social media's sake, be on social media and be in the space where you learn things about your craft. Follow like the major product managers. I always ask these during interviews, who are your product management heroes? It shows how open you are to learning from people who have advanced in your space. So learning about, following people who are further in their field than you are, doing specialized courses. And I always say courses, but then I say it in parentheses because just going to do the courses don't really help much. So you have to like practice courses and practice. And so when you're looking for courses that offer maybe internship opportunities or practical opportunities so that you can practice these things and, learn from real life experiences. Participate in projects, just join tech platforms and jump on people's projects, help write code, help write documentation. It's a way for you to learn, it's a way for you to network, it's a way for you to also expand your horizon. And of course, like I said before, joining tech communities is very important because there you're going to meet a whole world of people. There are different levels of tech. There are different levels of product management or different levels of software engineering. And so when you join tech communities and you see what other people are doing and you hear what other people are doing, you're encouraged to do more. So yeah, I'll just stop here.
Super. Okay, thanks, Adani. So take courses. If there's anyone on the call that is looking to start a career in tech, don't wait to go to the university or whatnot. You can take courses. I know a lot of software engineers, a lot of UI UX guys that took courses, right? And that's what's putting bread on their table today. Take projects for free. Adani, I like that you mentioned that word because Nigerians don't like to. They would ask you, in this economy, but do it for free, and just learn, use it as, a learning opportunity, and join tech communities as well. Learn from people, see the kind of conversation. So there's a way that you can speak intelligently about something because you keep hearing that thing. There is an industry speak, I'm sure tech guys have theirs. We marketing people, we have ours. So when you join communities, you hear those things all the time and you brush up on, your conversational skills. And then you mentioned data. Data will remain king. Data serves as an oil for AI and machine learning. So anyone that is looking to go into data analysis or data engineering, I think that's a good line to toe. Well, speaking of software engineering, because Adani also mentioned that, Chinedu, how important would you say is continuous learning and upskilling in the tech industry, particularly in light of recent trends? You talked about how AI is, taking people's jobs, but then there's also that human feel that needs to, influence what it is that the AI does. So how important is continuous learning and upskilling in the tech industry, Chinedu?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, I don't well for now, I don't feel like AI is taking our jobs now, or maybe in the future. But for now, I feel like it's here to like help us work faster,
Really?
basically, right? So I mean, I would say upskilling is important because I myself I still take courses on Udemy, right? I still take courses on so cultivating these skills, the keys will, it helps you remain competitive and it helps you adapt to different environments, right? Because prior to working at Green Places, I was at Real Fever. It was a Web3 company, and we were, we were using a different language, basically. We were writing the code in JavaScript and TypeScript, but at Green Places, we were using PHP. And I didn't know anything about PHP before getting into Green Places. So like, so it was upskilling. It was, watching, grinding at night, watching videos, watching YouTube, that will help you, it builds your character, it builds, you make it to a habit or you cultivate that habit of learning, because I feel like I can learn anything. You can actually learn anything. It's just about understanding the concept, understanding what your learning is all about. So upskilling is important. It's also important to identify a focus, right? Because I see, well, I had guidance when I was learning how to code and software engineering because my sister she was also a software engineer. So I chose a path because I chose web development because of her. But I feel like that's where I identified my focus. So identifying your focus is important. Choose a niche, choose what you want to do. Choose software engineering. Tech is really, really broad. So you can't do everything, right? You just have to choose a niche and choose what you want to do. So identify your focus area like AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, and also then combine your focus with strong fundamentals, right? Because at the end of the day, the fundamentals like is the king. Like we have to know your roots, we have to know the basics because the basics is still what we use to this day. So identify your fundamentals and also continuously, look for people that are advanced in your field, right? Like look for mentors, look for people that are advanced in your field and try to learn from them, try to, maybe build a project, try to show them and say, I built this, can you give me guidance on this? Can you review my code? Can you review what I've done? And also I would say documenting your journey, also putting yourself out there is also, is also a way for you to upskill because when we're in the social media era today, everything is online. So like if you're not online, if we are not seeing what you're doing online, then nobody really know what you're doing, nobody really know the work you're putting in. So I feel like, documenting your journey and putting yourself out there is also a way to like upskill and also networking, right? Networking is important. So build connections at, webinars like this, conferences, on LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, try to contribute to open source. So I feel like there are a lot of things you can do to upskill, but I would say the primary thing is to, choose and identify an area of focus and then just follow it through.
Actually, do you've shared so many nuggets. To get a mentor, choose a niche, put yourself out there, let people know what it is that you are doing. Do it with your full chest. Say it with your full chest. Let them see you.
Yeah.
As that software engineer or that data analyst. Then network. Join sessions like this. Choose to put yourself out there and just choose to speak, choose to contribute towards conversations, whether it's on LinkedIn or in person, anywhere that you see opportunities to do this, just jump on them, so that you can build your connections. I really like that. Thank you, Nidu. Just very quickly, let's talk about industry impacts. And Temitope, we know that you have worked across many industries. As a marketer, you have all those industry experiences, different industry experiences. So what industries do you think will present for tech professionals?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? What industry would what?
What industries do you think will experience the most growth in 2025? And what opportunities does that present for tech professionals?
I honestly think literally almost every industry is really going to grow. I see 2025 as a very booming year for literally almost every business. I don't have a bleak or I don't have any negative feeling towards 2025. I think it's going to be an extremely successful year for businesses. I think it's going to be an extremely successful year for countries, economies. So, but yeah, just to put a little emphasis. So, for example, we've been speaking about AI literally all day. And, I know we've had our arguments whether AI would people will lose their jobs or people won't lose their jobs. But basic thing is, let me just give you some examples to show you how vast this AI integration is going to be. So for example, I think some months back, I was reading on how they are now introducing AI into hospitals and the medical field. So with AI now, first, some doctors are losing their job anyway, but with AI now, these test results that, at least for the article I read, the test results that they normally do when you do your test, and a doctor will come and go through it and give you a feedback based on, their knowledge on, the markers that they saw on the results. They used AI and they realized that the AI was 70% more accurate than humans. So basically, what some hospitals have done is, they let go of some of their, I don't know if it's the lab scientists, the people that interpret the results, the radiologists. Okay, yeah, it was a radiology scan, and they let go of a lot of their radiologists. So it was just the top radiologist that just needed to give a feedback and to sign off on what the AI has interpreted from the results. So you are going to see a lot of that. I also own a digital marketing agency, like you mentioned earlier, Digitize Nigeria. And we are literally there to serve small businesses that can't afford the big agencies, and obviously can't even raise their own internal team to do their marketing. They have budgets of like 500 to 1K. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Let me give you an example. One of our clients, a hospital, they one of the challenges they've been having is people are signing up to come for appointments, but people are not showing up for those appointments. So one of the things that we are working on assisting them with is messaging automations. So the reason a lot of people are not, coming for these appointments is some of them are forgetting. There's no system in place. Someone has an appointment 2 weeks from now, but there's no system in place for consistent reminders. So that's where automation comes in. All right. So we are creating an automated messaging system whereby, 1 week to your appointment, you get a message on SMS, you get a message on WhatsApp. 3 days to the appointment, you get a message on WhatsApp, you get a message on SMS. 3 hours to the appointment, you get a message. So, and we started seeing results because people are now responding that no problem, I'll be there. No problem, I'll be there. So and that's gradually started increasing. So this is integrating automation into a hospital and healthcare system. So everybody is going to feel the new things. And I think it was the lady that spoke earlier, Adanios, I think. She spoke on customizations. There'll be more customization. So those messages, for example, that these people are receiving is going to say, hi, Adane, don't forget your appointment. It's not going to be one generic message. It's going to be customized because we're using AI. E-commerce businesses, hospitality businesses, real estate businesses. So yesterday I was looking at a new tool that we are still looking into. And what this tool does for you is phone calls. So basically, you first start by recording 30 minutes of your voice in the software. So the software is going to know your voice, how you talk, how you pause, how you laugh. So the software is going to know everything about the way your voice sounds and how you like to talk. So you can use that software and automate your phone responses. So if somebody signs up on your website or maybe even clicks on your ad and they know and you have their details, the person would immediately get a phone call from you directly, and it is going to be your voice exactly. If you will not even be able to, differentiate between the software because it is your voice, and you'll be interacting with the person, will be asking questions, you'll be answering. So every industry, real estate, everyone, as long as they are able to integrate AI, I think people shouldn't run from artificial intelligence, automations. People shouldn't run from all these things, machine learning, data science. People should embrace it. All right. It's like back in the days when people were still on horses and cars came, there was a lot of riots and people were like, no, with cars now, we'll lose our jobs with the horses. But I think people should be very flexible and be like, how do we embrace AI? What can we, yes, how can we bring AI into the fold and use it to make our processes more efficient, and increase customer-centric approaches. Then let me just end by saying this. While we're speaking on trends, I always like to advise, my younger colleagues that are, trying to figure out where to go to, what to do, because, there's like this, I think, too many information out there right now, and you are like, what do I do? This thing is too much, My advice would always be that people should avoid following trends, all right? Avoid following trends. Take note of trends. Take note of trends and use that information to make better decisions for yourself. But don't follow trends. Follow your interests, all right? What are the things that you are interested in the most? and how can those things be viable in the world that we are going into. I think with that, you'll be able to have a more fulfilling career. You'll be able to do things that you are happy doing, because you see a lot of people now running, oh, I want to go and do programming. I want to go and learn programming. Meanwhile, you don't like those kind of things. You don't like numbers. You don't like to calculate. You don't like to even crack your brain. You just like easy life. So you may need to find things that are more inclined to your interest. And I'm certain that you can find those kind of things that would still make you a lot of money as well. So people should align with their interests, take note of trends, but don't say, oh, is this the thing that is raining now? This is the thing I want to go and learn. Trends will continue to change every year. So you can't be changing and changing your life every year. So that's my advice for people, going into tech. Then I would also welcome them to marketing, digital marketing. They are welcome. Not everything is programming. So you're also welcome to digital marketing as well. So thank you.
I co-welcome them to digital marketing. Well, thank you so much, Temitope. I like that you talked about trends. So trends are fads that easily fizzle away. You can take note of them, be aware of them, but follow your interests. So thank you so much, Temitope. I don't know to what extent that AI helps in industries like oil and gas, construction, even the agri industry. I don't know if anybody's already thinking about those areas. But I think those areas in 2025 would, in a country like Nigeria, where, oil is our major source of income, you might want to start thinking about how, how tech professionals, or you as a tech professional, can infuse AI and machine learning into the oil and gas industry. I don't know if it already exists, but it's not widely known. So as an area that you might want to look into. So Chinedu, as a tech pro yourself, what advice would you give to young tech professionals just starting out in their career in light of the lessons that you learned in 2024? Chinedu.
Advice for young techies. That was a question, right? I would say, choosing an area of focus, because that's the primary thing, to choose an area of focus. So explore different fields like web development, data science, cybersecurity, cloud computing, to find what excites you, like Temitope said. Then specialize in that area first, right? Also learn by doing, building projects, start small, create a personal portfolio, do a to-do list app, build a simple game, build projects along the way, because you learn by building. That's how it works. You learn by actually getting your hands dirty and, building something hands-on. Then contribute to open source on platforms like GitHub. They have beginner-friendly open source you can contribute to. Also participate in challenges like hackathons, there are also websites where you can learn, the basics of programming, like Lead Code, HackerRank, Free Code Camp. I actually used Free Code Camp was like a breakthrough for me, to be honest, because that was where I actually understood a lot of concepts in Free Code Camp, because they broke it down in very, very simple terms. So, those platforms are actually valuable if you are still starting out, because they will help break down complex concepts for you, right? And also focus on the fundamentals. So master the core concepts of programming. If you want to do programming, if you want to do like something, master the core concepts. Start with the basics, data structures, problem solving. So understand how computers and the internet work. Also, don't skip like, let's say when you like have issues, or when you have a bug, try to like find people that have the same mindset as you. because I have friends, like I made friends along the way that had the same mindset as me, and that network have helped me to today. So find like-minded people in your field and also try to like collaborate with them. I think that's also something that could help. Also, invest in your soft skills, communicating, teamwork, and also being able to adapt in different scenarios is also good, and also build the learning habits. So consistency over intensity. So for me, when I was starting out, I dedicated at least 2 hours a day to actually do free code camp and to just learn things. So like being consistent every day, showing up every day, one day to click. So try to show up every day, and also try to network and also document your journey out there. So I feel like that would help you. But most importantly, choose an area of focus, because some people, they want to do everything at once, right? They want to like do this, and do this. So specializing is, because when you're applying for jobs and when companies look for specialists, right? They look for people specializing in this particular thing instead of getting someone that does everything, because we most times are broken down into teams. So specializing is key, and also being consistent. You have to grind. So just be consistent, and think it work out for all of us.
Super. Thank you, Chinedu. So you've heard from Tech Bro himself. These are things that worked for him. And hopefully, I mean, it's not always one size fits all, but we know that it would at least work for you 80-something% of the time. So you might want to also use these tactics that he has shared. So before we close, just a couple of questions. And Adane, you talked about ethical practices earlier on. How can techies effectively balance innovation with ethical considerations in their work? Adane.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. How can techies balance ethical considerations in their work? I think that that's a good question, but I think that each and every one of us, and this is why I always tell people, I don't know if this is good advice, but I always give this advice for people to start from paid employment before they get their own businesses. There's always a difference between the business run by someone who has worked for someone and someone who just started on their own, maybe had some money and then decided to learn their own business. You can't 100% balance ethics with your work in tech. First of all, you have to have your own personal values. These companies that we work for have their own values, and that makes us, it keeps us in a box so that we don't, exist or work outside of those boxes. And I think that as an individual, if you have your own business, as a person, you should have your own values and know that no matter what the temptation is, you don't want to, go outside of your values. Also note that at the back of everything we do is regulation. And as a product person and as someone who started a career in the bank, I did 8 years in commercial banking. Regulation is something I take very, very seriously. And so ethics and regulation go together. And if you are practicing if you're doing anything unethical, it's very easy for regulation to just swoop in and end your dreams or mess up your business. You're unable to have a very strong voice or be very proud of yourself or just do what you want to do when you're practicing some shady stuff with your business. Let me give you just a little bit of example. I have a friend who has a business or I know someone who has a business and had some issues with a partner. And I was like, the easiest thing is to take is this to the regulator and they'll fix it for you. This bank is messing up your business. Why don't you the regulator and they'll come in and hold the bank responsible? But he couldn't do that because that then puts him under the radar of the regulator. And the regulator is going to check out his books and then things are going to go down. And so that he couldn't take the actions he wanted to take against the person who was doing this for him. So I always say balance our ambition with your values. Make sure that you don't forget where you're coming from and don't forget how far you want to go. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Take your time. This thing, AI will be developing 100 years from now. This thing, to make your business as sustainable as possible. You don't want to crash out.
Okay, I don't know, we're struggling to hear you, but I think we've picked a couple of very interesting points that you shared. So have your own personal values, and that's really important because we've established the fact that human beings are the ones that infuse the data into any AI software or whatnot, right? We don't want to create an app that is exclusive. For example, you don't want to create a product that is exclusive. I think one of our speakers in the last session gave an example of how a product was excluding Black females, right? And it was a huge problem. There was a lot of backlash after it and whatnot. But basically, don't forget where you're coming from. Have your own personal values, and I think that would help you balance out innovation and still enable you to have those ethical considerations in your work. So thank you so much, Adani. Let's close out, right, because of time. But I think everybody would like to know this. You've all shared your think the future of technology would take and the impact. Start with you, Temitope. What final thoughts do you have for tech professionals navigating this rapidly evolving landscape?
Hello. Okay, so I I would um I would say first, like I said before, don't overly follow trends. Follow your interests, and you would always find lights at the end of that tunnel, because you can you can you can make it in almost any, or you can do very well in almost any aspect in tech. I think Adani spoke about low code, no code earlier on. And I think we are going to see a lot of that coming in 2025, whereby there might be no need for people to go and start getting one developer to build something from scratch and everything. So there'll be a lot of low code, no code, digital skills. People should look into that. For businesses, for businesses that rely so much on search engine optimization, for example, to get their customers, they need to start reevaluating that field because of generative AI that has been introduced to Google search. So you might need to look into how you can incorporate your SEO strategy to include generative AI answers, because there are ways that you can, go about that. And that's basically it. People should just be flexible. Don't focus on just one thing and be like, oh, this is my bread and butter. This is the only thing I'm going to do. Be open to see how you can integrate AI, automate some of your processes, and see how you can use all this new technology to make your systems and processes better. Lastly, if I can also say this, anyone can follow me on Instagram, Temitope Oriloa, and on LinkedIn, Temitope Oriloa as well. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, super. Thank you. Thanks, Temitope. I'm going to follow you on Instagram. Okay, so Chinedu, thoughts or final thoughts to you? Chinedu? While Chinedu is trying, okay, Chinedu, you're here. Go
Can you
ahead.
can you repeat your question?
Final
Can you repeat your question? Line.
thoughts for tech professionals. Do you have any fast, rapidly evolving landscape?
The line is breaking. Can you repeat your question? Sorry.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, let me take it again. Do you have any final thoughts for tech professionals? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So do you have any final
Mhm.
thoughts for tech professionals who are trying to join this our rapidly evolving landscape?
Yeah, I would say just add to what Temitope and Alani have said, embrace failure and feedback, we're talking about the sweet things, but you also have to remember that sometimes people can, you can try something and it doesn't work for you, right? Because I studied JavaScript for 2 years before I actually understood what JavaScript was about. So like embrace failures, mistakes are part of the process. So, every bug fix is a step forward, seek feedback from people and, learn to like collaborate and help show your works with and, get feedback from them. Also try to stay updated, the tech world moves fast, so like follow trends and emerging tools, but also something you're interested in, like said, something you like. And also manage your expectations. Some people get into tech and they want to make X amount of money in X amount of months, but in reality, that's not how it works. Like it takes time, it takes effort for you to be good, for you to actually be ready to like contribute, to the society. So like patience is key. Success takes time. So focus on being consistent, improving, and you can't be a master instantly. So like gradual steps, gradual steps, leads to you being a master. So and also learn and know that imposter syndrome is normal because I still have imposter syndrome to this day. So imposter syndrome is normal. Everyone starts somewhere and don't compare yourself, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle or someone else's end. And also, if you can, find a mentor or look for someone who has experience in your area of interest. A mentor can provide guidance, answer to your questions, and help avoid, common pitfalls. So, well, that would be my advice. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, what did you say?
And if she has any final thoughts. Thank you,
Oh,
Chinedu.
okay.
So, hi again, Chidera. Well, final thoughts. Like I said before, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. Chidi just mentioned it again. Take your time. Apple didn't become Apple in one day. Paystack didn't become Paystack in one day. You can take your time, build up yourself. Do some freestyle, gain some experience, and then before you get to where you're going to. But all in all, keep your eyes peeled for information. There's a lot of information out there. And Temitope has said it, don't follow trends, take notes of trends, and then use it to, guide what you're doing. Also, finally, and this was something that really helped me at the beginning of my career, choose something that plays into your strengths. Everybody wants to do software development. Everybody wants to do product management, but it could be tech sales as your strength. So choose something that plays into your strength. It could be in tech, but there's a lot in tech. There's edutech, there's health tech, there's prop tech. There's so many tech that you can choose, but something that you're passionate about, so that when you merge that passion with talent and skills, and of course learning, then you just be unstoppable in what you're doing. Thank you.
An illuminating session. I really like that everybody has spoken from personal perspectives and shared very personal experiences and examples. So thank you so much to our brilliant speakers. When I called them trailblazers in the beginning, I knew what I was saying, even though I knew them just based on their profile, and they've done justice to all the questions that were asked. So thank you, Chinedu, thank you, Adani, thank you, Temitope, thank you for your time and for sharing your wealth of knowledge and forward-looking insights. I would say that the challenges and even the resilience required, right? Just using that to project for 2025, one thing is clear, that the tech industry is not just evolving, it's transforming, and it's transforming the way we live, the way we have shared three things in common. We've talked about embracing emerging technologies like AI, and not just following trends, right? Not just looking at AI because it's like the buzzword now, but really using it for real and impactful change, right? And then they also all agree on, being customer-centric, making sure that your what it means very little if people don't see what it is that you're serving them as a solution. All right. And then finally, and I think Temitope, Chinedu, and Adane reiterated this over and over again: adapt and grow. The future belongs to those who are willing to learn, unlearn, collaborate, and basically put yourself out there, take bold and strategic steps towards your personal goals and your career goals as they pertain to the tech industry. So to everyone that joined us today, thank you for your time. To everyone that is listening, thank you for your time as well, and your energy, and your commitment growing, this ever-evolving tech-driven world, especially in Nigeria and in Africa. So let's continue to challenge ourselves. Let's continue to innovate. Let's continue to build solutions that matter, right? So thanks as well to Tech Economy business team for this, for putting together these conversations that need to be held. It's a wonderful opportunity. You can follow Tech Economy across all social media platforms. You can also listen to this session again. Platforms. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I am Chidera Muta. Anyone hear me so that we can close out quickly?
Yes, Chidera, we can hear you. You can go ahead.
Yeah.
Super.
You said we can.
Okay.
Sorry. So we can
Great. So
listen
we're
to
just
the
closing
talk
out.
again on what platform?
Yeah, so I was saying thanks to Tech Economy business team for putting this together. You can follow Tech Economy across all social media platforms, and you can listen back to this conversation on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and any other platform. Credit is a supply chain fintech company that streamlines credit processing for African businesses. So if merchants in need of working capital financing, or vendors in need of LPOs, asset financing, contract financing, invoices counting, and the likes, you can send me a direct message on LinkedIn if you need facilities across these areas. Thank you again for joining us. Until next time, stay inspired, keep pushing the boundaries, and put yourself out there. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
lovely day.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.